I'm walking to Cheriton Road Cemetery in Folkestone in Kent to take a closer look at a tomb that I've known about for years, but I don't really know anything about it. I haven't seen it for a good while, but from memory it's a big monument with drapery on one side, and I think it's to Germans who died in some sort of disaster. In the 1800s, I think. And that's the edge wall of the cemetery just over there. I'm going to cross the road here. There's a big difference between knowing of something and knowing about something, and I'm going to try and do the about something bit today. You've got the walls of the cemetery here, which are about 6'6" high. Got Morrison's over there. I can't see over, but I will be able to with the camera. Here we are at the gates, and here it is, Cheriton Road Cemetery. The road is just behind me, but it's really quiet in here thanks to that wall. I can just hear the cars, but not very loudly. It's quite peaceful, really. You can hear all the birds in the trees. Well, you probably won't be able to because I'm talking, but you can if I shut up. This bit here hasn't got many stones. I wonder if that was used for communal graves. And I've often wondered about this grave and why someone decided to build this around it. I assume they were growing something in it, but I'd love to know the story. There is something growing in there, some sort of bulb, not sure what that is though. It's hard to read who it's to, but I think that says in there to the Redmonds, or the Reedmans. There's another grave over there that's got one of those pen enclosures. Lots of people walk their dogs through here. And last night when I was walking past, it was dark and I could smell cannabis coming over the wall, and then two people came out of the cemetery. So it's used for a variety of things, this cemetery these days. And over there is the abandoned chapel, the abandoned and bricked up chapel. We'll go and take a look at that. I did do some research with someone a couple of years ago whose grandmother is buried in this cemetery. Hundreds of people must be buried here, hundreds. But I can't remember when the earliest burial is, so I'll need to check that when I get home. We're further down in the cemetery now, and you can really see how the stones have changed. There's higher monuments and there's more crosses which weren't further down the other end. But I'm here to look for a specific monument, and I think it's just over there. And there someone's had a tomb cleaned, showing it bright white, as lots of these tombs would have looked like when they were first put in place. Oh, and I forgot to stop off at the old chapel, but it's there. And this is a sadder part of the cemetery over here, because this is where young children and babies are buried. I'm not showing the names for respect, but just there's two little baby brothers who died a year apart, aged 6 and 7 months, which is really, really sad. I thought this monument was somewhere around here. Where on earth is it? And I can see it over there, just through the gravestones. So let's go have a closer look. And there it is. I couldn't quite remember the shape of it. But it's an obelisk. And there on the side is the drapery that I remember, and gold lettering. I don't think there's any other lettering on it. Let me just check. No, nothing else, so just that one on the front. Now, MIT SMS. MIT is with, I think, but it's obviously not short messaging service, something else back then. Is it a regiment? So I don't speak German, so I've no idea what it says. So I'm going to try Google Translate to see if it'll help me. 31st of May. Good old Google Translate, let's go. 1878. So this is what Google Translate gives me. Commemorating the May the 31st, 1878 with SMS Great Elector, lost comrades, the German Navy. So obviously the ordering's not quite right in the translation, but SMS must be the equivalent of like His or Her Majesty's ship, is it? Great Elector sounds like a ship name. They were in the German Navy, 1878 marine disaster. Let's find out about this disaster. And what I also want to find out is, are there any records of the German Navy that still survive? Is there anyone alive who were descended from these people? And what can we find out about other family history records for Germany around this time? The sun's out now, can lose the hat. And not far away from the monument is another maritime tomb with a big anchor on the top. Being a seaside town, I guess there are lots of people buried here who are connected to the sea in one way or another, or knew people who were connected to the sea. And I was just about to leave when I've seen this sign about the cemetery over here. And there's a picture of the monument, so we can find a bit about it before we even leave. So there's a Friends of Folkestone cemetery. So this tells me that the first burial took place in 1856, and actually it's not hundreds of graves, it's thousands. 15,000 graves are in the cemetery. God, incredible number. And there's some very brief details about this monument there, which says 284 German sailors perished when the ironclad Grosser Kurfürst collided with its flagship König Wilhelm in the Channel in 1878. I'm really sorry that my German pronunciation is so terrible. But 284 sailors then died. Were all the bodies recovered? Are they all buried there? 284 of them? Did anyone survive? Who knows? Let's find out.
You can continue the story with the next episode unedited, or continue finding out more with the edited episode. Or what about watching this new family history story? Click here to subscribe to the channel to find out all about future episodes. Thanks for watching.